My name is Fixler. I am one of the beliefs that Dr. Laston calls of a survivor of a Holocaust. Standing here today, I'm actually a fact. On March 30th, 1944, I was born in Budapest, Hungary, at the exact time that the Nazi forces invaded Hungary. My mother, father, and I lived in a 5-story building where my father had a store on the first floor. We were rounded up by the Nazis and their collaborators, Hungarian collaborators, and shipped off to the Budapest ghetto. Besides my family, there were 600 other persons who were shipped off to the Budapest ghetto. Out of those 600, my mother and I were the lucky ones. We survived, but 500,000 of those 600,000 Jews were shipped off by train to Auschwitz, where they were brutalized, experimented on, and gassed. These are not beliefs, these are facts. It's an educator's obligation to educate. And when anybody in front of that educator denies the existence of a Holocaust, it becomes the obligation of a decent teacher, principal, to teach otherwise. My father served as a slave laborer because he was pulled out of the Budapest ghetto, sent to Mauthausen, which was one of the many concentration camps, and while marching in line, was asked to step out of line and shot in the head. My mother and I managed to survive because the ghetto was liberated. I think it was sometime like 6 months later. So you had 500,000 Jews murdered within a 6-month period. We left with a man named Samuel Fixler, which is where I get my name, who I thought was my father. Moved to Czechoslovakia, where we lived for several years, till we received sufficient paperwork to emigrate to Israel, where we lived in a refugee camp for 18 months till we got a visa to come here. So it's tough to give a life story within 3 minutes, and I apologize. I won't take any more of your time. I don't envy your job, but the Holocaust is real. It should be taught to everyone. And anybody who ignores this, it's just not worth having around. Thank you.
Thank you.